Hey everyone, it's Ms. Caspero. This is your notes from 14.1, the frequency distribution in our statistics unit. So, we were, to review, drawing, analyzing, and using bar graphs and histograms. And we wanted to be able to organize data into frequency distribution table. Okay. So, right here we had a line plot, or some people call it a pictograph. Just shows us pictures. A lot of times they do it with hamburgers or cars. Just showing us the types of things that were going on. The frequency occurring along a number line. You had these in your vocab sheets, the graphs. Different types, bar graphs used to compare, histograms, distributions of variables, and a frequency distribution is a table that displays the frequency of various outcomes in a sample. What that means is, let's say you're doing preschool class. You have so many 3-year-olds, so many 4-year-olds, and so many 5-year-olds. The frequency is how many of these you have. So let's say you have 6 3-year-olds, 4 4-year-olds, and 8 5-year-olds. And with 18 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, I hope you've got a teacher's aide with you. But this shows how frequently they are. Okay. Back-to-back bar graph is not used often, but just so that you show, just like I did before, you've got, they compare the same things for two different sets of, two different times in this case, 1980, 1997, and you've got the x-axis showing what happens on both sides, and this y-axis shows the 4 different levels that they've got. There's an example of a 3-dimensional graph as well, showing the differences over time. So you really just have to look and see what it is the graph is describing. But neither one of these are used very often in the settings we'll be using them. A frequency table is a way to organize it so it makes more sense. To find the intervals, you'll find the range of the data, highest minus lowest, and then divide them equally into intervals, which are most usually multiples of 5. Since you want to have 5 or 6 different bars in this histogram, I would take that range and divide it by 5 or 6 to see what my interval would be. That usually gives you the best interval. So if my range of data was 95 and I divide that by 5, it's telling me that my best range of data here would be 5, that's 19, so about 20. So I would want to go from 10 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 to 70, 70 to 90, 90 to 110. So my best range would be about 20. Class limits, the lower limit and the upper limit. So when you just heard me say 10 to 30, 30 to 50, right here, those are what's called the class limits. Class marks are the midpoints of the intervals. So right here you would have a midpoint of 20 and then a midpoint of 40. And the rest of them, let's see, I said 50 to 70, 70 to 90, and 90 to 110. So we've got all of these class limits, 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, and 110. And your class marks, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. And that would put you into your histogram. Okay? So right here, the winning scores for the first 3 Super Bowls are 33, 35, 33, blah, 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 blah. Find the range of the data. So remember, you want to do highest minus lowest. So we have, let's see what the highest is. 55. I don't see anything bigger than 55. So it'd be 55 minus 14? 14. So your range is 41. Determine an appropriate class interval. So let's see. 41 divided by 5 is 8.2 roughly. So if we did this by tens, we could do 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. And that covers my highest point and my lowest point. And I'd have 5 of them. Okay. So my class marks here are 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55. So here is my frequency distribution. From 10 to 20, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4. A lot of times they'll make a tally mark and then make this over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then write the total, which is 4. 20 to 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 30 to 40. Ooh, I missed one. 12. Okay. Now, I put the 20 in with this upper one rather than putting it down with the 10 to 20. Mainly because I was following y'all's directions. Most of y'all flipped over when we went to 20 and put it in the higher category. So that works for me. That's just fine. I can always double check the numbers over here and figure out which one you've got. So 30 to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So once again, I have 12 from 30 to 40. 12, 20, 30, 12 from 30 to 40. 40 to 50, I have 1, 2, 3. Looks like I missed one on my 30 to 40. 37. So that would make that 13. Okay. And my last one, 50 to 60. I've got 1, 2. Okay. So there's a frequency distribution, 4, 12, 13, 3, and 2. When you find the class marks, which are your midpoints, marks are midpoints. Then what it would look like to graph it by hand, you would have this mark right here at 15, then at 25, 35, 45, and 55. You would graph the marks that way on your x-axis. Your y-axis would be the frequency. So let's say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. So for 15, your marks, we would have 4. Okay, and we go halfway to halfway. 25, you have 12. It would also go halfway. Whoops, to halfway. 13 is a little bit bigger than that. 3 drops back down here. And then 2 looks just like that. Now, if you are going to put it into your calculator, then you're going to need to go to, let's click it this way then, Stat, Edit, and you would put in your class marks. Okay, 15, whoops, let's see, 15, okay, 25, 35, 45, and 55. All right, and your frequency would be 4, 20, 12, 13, 3, and 2. So we'll go to Stat Plot, and you have to turn that one on. You want to get over to a histogram here, and your X list, which is from your X axis, is going to be your L1, second L1. Your frequency is on your Y axis, which was L2. So we'll go back here. I need to get my window. My window goes from 0 to 60 on the x-axis, and we'll split that by 10s because that's what our interval was. Our y-axis goes from 0 to 14. We'll make it 0 to 15. Well, how about 16? Going by 2s. I don't want to go to the very top of it. And there's what my graph looks like. A lot better than me drawing it, but that's what it looks like on your graph. And you get Stat, Edit. Okay. Later on, you remember we'll use Stat, Calc on variable stats. But right now, all we needed was just to stat plot our histogram. And the conclusions you can determine are most of the scores are between 20 and 40. Okay? And you can write that down. Most winning scores are between 20 and 40. Is everybody okay? Good. Looks like we are at the end of this video, so we will try again in a little bit. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.